Fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Prusa MMA. Happy New Year. We're back, 2026. Familiar guest to the platform. Once again, he is Mr. Rico Disciullo. You're probably like, hey, he was just on here. Yeah, he was. Got a big win at the end of December. Quick turnaround, getting ready, taking on Ashton Caniglia, BKFC coming up over again, Mohegan Sun. Rico, what's up, my friend? How are you?
What's good? Happy New Year, man. Good to be here.
Absolutely, man. So last time out is only a few weeks ago. One of the last shows of the year. You got a huge win, man. Great performance against Stash. Looking back at it, man, what did you make of that?
Yeah, anytime you can fight for BKFC, get in there, get out, you know what I mean, without any bruise, cuts, whatever, and it's a big W because, you're taking the risk to hurt your hands, get cut, whatever. So, and plus, I'm not really I'll fight at 155, but my comfort zone's 145 pounds. That's where I should be fighting at, but you know, this is boxing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of nice sometimes, especially with bare knuckle. I think to fight at the closer to the weight that you just walk around at, because now you're not cutting the weight out of you. You know, you can take trauma better to your body, to your head, to everything. So I'll fight in two, maybe even three weight classes, to be honest. So it's nice to not have to focus on that so much and just go out there and try to just perform and get the focus on getting the finish. And that's what I did, and it was great. And I got out clean, and now on to the next, man. We keep the ball rolling, dude.
Absolutely. That was a very interesting dynamic there. Obviously, both you guys, you going up a weight class, 155, fighting a guy who's a little taller, a little bigger in there. How did that play out? Was there any adjustment to the process to that?
Yeah, I mean, he had the height advantage, reach advantage. Probably a little bit stronger, whatnot. But I mean, that only translates so much. I mean, to boxing, I mean, and striking in general. Like, it's all about footwork, knowing your range, the little things that really can make a big difference. And we always got a strategy, but I can make the adjustment in there with anybody and like find a way to beat anybody. I have a lot of experience. I've fought guys from, like, training wise, some of the best of the planet at every different weight class. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of in that middle area, like I walk around right around like 160 something. So like I fight guys two or three weight classes above me and two or three weight classes below me. So I get a lot of different styles and a lot of different looks. You know what I mean? So I'm used to literally just about everything. You know what I mean? There's not much I haven't seen. So I feel that, I'm very confident that I can make adjustments in there, and not only that, I can see guys and have an understanding of the best way or to go about fighting them, and if that doesn't work, how I can change things in the fight and make sure I get a finish, or at least put myself in the best position to.
Connecticut as of late becoming a second home for you. Two fights there, two big wins there, kind of a hometown crowd. What's that like, man, after that big finish, hearing that ovation, that roar? Does that ever get old?
Oh, it was awesome. Now it's crazy how much I've always been so oddly comfortable at Mohegan. I made my pro debut there for Bellator. I had a couple, I've never lost in that building still, and so I fought. Bellator was going there all the time, so I fought a couple of times over there like years ago, and it's just for whatever reason, it's an awesome arena. I think it's made more for acoustics, so it like really echoes. Like, the sound in there is really lively. The crowd's awesome. I bring it, I draw a good crowd, and I think we talked about this last time, how, like, all of New England kind of helps. We all like support each other because we've been on the scene for so long that, like, when I walk out, it's I kind of feel like I control that place. You know what I mean? So it's awesome. The support is just more satisfactory. Like, it's just more. It makes me feel good just because, like, I know that all these people there like really enjoy watching me fight. You know what I mean? And that's a good feeling. And yeah, man, it's just a fucking sick venue. The crowd gets wild over there, and it's they always a good show for the most part. And I'm gonna
Absolutely.
do everything I can to put on a good show. You know what I mean? So, like, that, at the end of the day, my fans are satisfied no matter what.
Absolutely. You fought a little early in the night. Were you able to, after, go out there, enjoy it, watch the rest of the card?
Yeah, it's always chaos after, especially like friends and family and whatnot. Everybody's texting me trying to do this, trying to do that. It's I I try to enjoy the fights, to be honest, but I got a room there. They keep us down the street. This time I got a room after. I usually try to on fight night just so I don't have to bounce around. but it's chaotic. I mean, next time I'm gonna make sure that I settle down and not like I go back to my room, put all my stuff back without anybody knowing, so I don't have to get hounded. I'm gonna sneak away real quick, change whatnot, and then come back. Because it's like I said, I got a room in the the same place the venue's at, like so it'll be a lot easier if I can sneak away, get changed, drop off all my gear rather than slug it, literally dragging all my gear and all my stuff from like the bar or wherever, and it's just like everybody's hounding me. But you gotta love it, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. It's like a
No,
reunion. You see people you haven't seen for so long. My cousins came from like Chicago, people I haven't seen in years, and that's another like big driving factor because it's like it's all about the journey. You know what I mean? You got when you love it, like I've been doing this for so long. You really appreciate those things more and more, I think.
absolutely. Another guy, an OG from that area that was in the main event, Parker Porter. What a fight that was. I mean, like
Yeah.
2 or 3 knockdowns. Parker comes back, finishes the dude in the second round. Were you going crazy on that?
Yeah, after he got dropped, it was wild. Like when you see heavyweights go at it like that in BKFC up close, it's just like woof. Like it's really like it's different. It really is like even when even when they would miss and then close the distance and just hit bodies, it was just like linemen hitting body, you know what I mean? It was like football. It was just like sumo wrestlers, you know what I mean? Like it's intense. It's a lot and it's fast, you know what I mean? And it's that was, I would say, got to be up there for fight of the year, one of the fights of the year. I mean, it was just a fantastic, fantastic fight. And then the turnaround, Parker gets the finish, and it was just like, holy shit, this is what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We've talked about before, man. You've had quite a run in combat sports, obviously being on Bellator, the Ultimate Fighter, now find yourself in the BKFC here. Right now, later on in your career, I mean, obviously these first two, you're looking very sharp in there. But one thing I'm really picking up, you're really using that IQ. Everything is so strategic. You're very smart about your shots, your footwork, all that. You just see years of experience. Do you think the IQ that you've developed from this journey is really paying dividends right now?
I think it's what it's all about. Like, and not only that, it's your mindset. Like, I was walking into this fight in the back. I was almost nervous that I wasn't really nervous. I'm like, yo, this is never really. You should be a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? And I was just at the right time. But in the backstage, I was cool, calm, collected, and I felt that same way the time before because I truly believe like this is the best format for me. So I'm very confident, and I'm not overlooking anybody. I'm not doing that. I've made that mistake once as an amateur 15 years ago, and I learned my lesson from that, and it's never happened again. You know what I mean? So I really never do overlook anybody. I'm not being cocky, but I am supremely confident in the work that me and my guys have done. You know what I mean? And like the preparation I've had and my mentality. Like I truly believe in my skill set, IQ, all the combination. You know what I mean? And I really, really believe it's my time. Like, things happen for a reason. Life is funny, man. The struggle can turn you into something even bigger. You know what I mean? Like cliche to say, but well, diamonds come from pressure, right? All those sayings, and it's true, man. Like you're only gonna get better going through the shit. Going through the feeling like you have more to give and having to go through a grind to showcase it. You know what I'm saying? So and I feel like I'm there, and I paid my dues for a long, long time, and it's there's not much I haven't seen, and I don't think these guys are really. I don't think they realize the level I'm at until they get in there with me, and then they're like, "Oh shit, okay, this is more than I thought." You know what I'm saying? And if not, they're already out before that happens. Like, cause I just feel like I could be the best in the world at this. I really do. Like, I know you're gonna see it after this fight next weekend. I'm looking for a nice clean finish as always. Hopefully first or second round. I'm not going to rush it, but I really believe I get this guy out second half of the first round. I've watched him fight. I know how to break him down. I also know how if he makes it chaotic and whatever, I can fight off my back foot. I'll blow him in and snipe him. And if he once he feels my power, it's going to change him. You know what I mean? So if I can get another finish here, get out clean, You know, I'm really looking forward to getting another fight, and then from there, I want to start fighting. You know, climbing that ladder to the point where, all right, I want to be fighting guys that are going to get me to a title shot. You know what I mean? I can beat these guys. Like, there's not that many people that really like impress me at all in the top even of like five. Like, I'm not being rude. They're good fighters, but it's I feel like my skill set for this format is the best in the world. I truly can beat all these guys. I just have to not fumble on my way to getting there. I have to, stay sharp, stay focused, keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I truly believe, like, any given day, dude, if I get these opportunities, it's gonna go my way. I put in too much work. I just it's just it's inevitable at this point. You know what I mean? I won't be denied if I keep just knocking dudes out. Like, what are they gonna say? Won't give me the shot? You know what I mean? Like, if I keep knocking these guys out, maybe some guys will bail, but there'll be people that have to take the fights, or else it's like, all right, then if they won't take the fights, you know what I mean? Climb the ladder again, even more. So I'm just gonna keep. They're gonna line them up. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna knock them down until I get to the top. Really, that's it. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the guy that comes in and like, oh, I want a title shot. No, I'm gonna literally ring by ring, brick by brick. You know what I mean? I'm gonna climb and I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna earn it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. I want to earn it, get that shot, show everybody what I'm about, get that title, and fucking and win that title and hold it down for a bit. You know?
Absolutely. Over the past few years, kind of been in and out of competition. Now we're at a point now where we can be very active. We are being active right now. Do you find joy in that? Are you excited about this?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like I said before, it's a beautiful thing when you can get like my first fight, it was very clean, but my hands were destroyed. I remember I showed you a picture. It looked like one of my hands literally looked like a club. I couldn't punch anything hard for almost 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So it kind of changed. It made me realize, all right, you can't go in there and just drop bombs like hit the top of the head. My hands were destroyed. My face was fine. I had no cuts, no nothing. But I was like, the last thing I ever thought was my hands were gonna hold me back from getting another quick fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, just a little bit of different adjustments in training, like, knowing when to really let loose the power, being very calculated about precision, and you know, just tightening things up. Just really tightening things up, specific for this format.
Absolutely. Throughout your whole MMA career, you've always embraced the firefight. You're a type of guy, there's not really much going backwards in a Rico Disciullo fight. It's a lot going forward, trying to get the finish. Now you take that into the BKFC platform here, and I think you used the best word to describe it. It is total chaos when you get in there with someone. For you, do you find comfort in that? Do you like the chaos?
Yeah, you have to. So it's funny because it has to be like controlled chaos. You have to be the leader of the dance in the chaos. You have to like accept it, but also make it happen, or like for yourself. Like, for example, sometimes, like, if the guy's blitzing you, whatever, it's not necessarily the best thing to just go for a firefight. Sometimes you do back the fuck up, back the fuck up, back the fuck up, set a trap. Sometimes you got to circle off and completely reset. Sometimes you got to say, all right, and just blitz them back. Like, you got to go off of instinct, and that only comes with years and years of experience doing it and seeing it in your body, just like seeing those patterns over and over and over and recognizing it and just doing it because the one little thing that you've seen and you've dealt with over and over in the gym finally translates to the fight, in that moment of, oh shit, this dude's blitzing with wide punches. I'm gonna come up the middle. This dude's trying to just straight up come over the top. I'm gonna come straight forward with straight punches. I'm gonna hit the angle and catch him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna lure him into a punch. There's, or you could just blitz him. There's, it's just all repetition of what you've encountered and how you know how to deal with it from years in the gym. So it's like it will translate. You just gotta put in that time, and I've put in that time. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So you're getting ready to make your return next week and taking on Ashton Caniglia here. Overall, what do you think of Ashton as an opponent?
I think it's gonna be a completely different style fight. Completely different. he's shorter than me, so I'm going from a guy a lot taller than me, a lot bigger reach, to a guy that's a little shorter. He likes to blitz. Like he's the type of dude that's gonna wait for his moment to kind of very unorthodox style, aggressive blitzes. So I feel just being sharp, composed, keeping it simple, keeping it straight, keeping it long, allowing allowing me to react, I think will be the best way to get a clean finish and get out. Don't get me wrong. Some things happen in the fight where things change, and I don't know. Maybe it turns into a like chaotic whatever. If I feel like I can just push on and just get the fight done, being sloppy, kind of a brawl. But I think this fight's going to be a little more strategic, a little more clean, a little patient, a little sharper. I think that with my reach advantage, I don't have to force anything. I can keep him on the outside with a lead frame, a lead jab, and allow him to do what he wants to do with his blitz. Let him run into a car wreck. You know what I'm saying?
Both of you guys predominantly MMA guys throughout your career. When you're fighting a guy like this guy with doesn't have too many fights, I think he has one fight in the BKFC. When you're looking at footage and stuff, does that make it harder? Are you able to pick up stuff from the MMA fights? Is it similar?
Well, he's 8-8. He's a 8-8 guy for MMA, and he has. If you watch, I watched his last fight because it was the same night I fought. He was one of the earlier fights, and it looked like he was a wrestler. Like the way that he fought, his entries were it reminded me of somebody that was like setting up his strikes to get an entry for a takedown. You know what I'm saying? Or like almost fighting to enter for, so it's like I've been dealing with that my whole life. Everybody, you know what I mean? Like every person that thinks they're gonna beat me is a wrestler that was gonna take me down and hold me down. Like that's every fight I've ever had to deal with since I think my first MMA fight fucking 15 years ago, literally. So I'm very I can see those patterns like that. So I think this is a really good matchup. He wanted the fight, they made it happen. I think the fact that we both got out without any issues, and it's nice that you can both have quick turnarounds. I just think I'm just gonna outgun him on this one. I think I'm just too sharp, or I'm too prepared. I've been training for a long time for this moment to like go on a run. You know what I mean? For me, even after this, I'm going again. I'm going again. I'm going out until I can't. You know what I'm saying? So like my foot's gonna be on the pedal. If I get out of this fight without any cuts, everything's good. Where am I going next? Dude, I don't care. Line me up. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm in good shape. I'm clean. I'm healthy. This is time where you got to press it.
I think you made a very good point in there. Being mindful of the cuts. I think a lot of people are obviously now watching BKFC, but I don't think everyone totally understands all that goes into it. I think when it comes to any sort of bare knuckle environment, these hands can do so much damage. Scar tissue becomes a real problem. You see guys getting cut up, scar tissue develops, they get hit there, and it opens up over and over, and you see these guys out. For you, is there a lot of caution? I mean, is that just adds a whole other element, man? Is just being smart out there to try to avoid something like that?
Yeah, well, you have to. I think the biggest thing, I don't really think like that, but what I do think of is this is why I don't underestimate anybody is you can be winning the entire fight. The guy can throw one strike and a cut, and then the doctor can stop it, and you just lost. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily because I've done very well. I've done a good job at not really taking much damage. Only I think I've had one cut in a fight, and out of like 35 fights. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty good head movement. I have been blessed. I haven't got cut, knock on wood. But the thing is, you also got to realize like that. So like, say first round, I'm beating him up the entire time, and then he throws something crazy. I get a cut. I got 20 seconds left. This cut could stop the fight in between. You have to have that knowledge to say, all right, you got to try to finish right now, just in case. And you have to be prepared to do that. You know what I mean? Like things like that. That I feel like the in-fight awareness of things like that I feel like I have a much bigger advantage on a lot of guys because I've done it for a long time. You know what I mean? Like those moments usually don't pass me by. Like I'm usually I'm pretty good at recognizing it even on my own. Never mind with my cornermen there. My cornermen are sharp. I got Kyle Bokniak and Eddie Alvarez, who have had a lot of big time experience in big fights. You know what I mean? And they know me personally, so they know how to deal with me. You know what I mean? So I think that's a very, very big thing, that a big, huge advantage. You know what I mean? They've been training and been around me for years. And not only Kyle's, former UFC guy, been doing it forever. He has his own school right now. Eddie Alvarez got his own school in Salem, killing it right down from where I'm at. But he's been in the game for a minute, like cornering people like Tony Martin, Rob Font, been over at Sit. You know what I mean? Like, we have a lot of good high level experience, and this is my squad. You know what I mean? They know me better than anybody, so they know how to work with me, and they know my mentality, and they know how to, you know, make me react and go and change my mindset. And they know how to turn me into a dog if I have to, make me relax. They know how to talk to me, and they know how to get the best out of me. And I think that's so important in this format, because sometimes you're not just fighting the guy, you're fighting the time, you're fighting the situation, you're fighting the cut, and you have to be able to get the most out of every experience. And that's something that people don't even think about.
The big win here, another finish, should be 3 finishes in a row, 3-0 in the BKFC. Do you think you're inching closer to being in that position where maybe you're co-main eventing some events, headlining some events, fighting some of those bigger names in the rankings?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Right now, these first 3 fights, it's good because they're very different. Like, it's different styles, completely different styles, even different weight classes. So we're trying to maximize like the experience in without having to have 10, 15 fights in of BKFC. You know what I mean? But I want to maximize like my experience level in doing it while I'm climbing the ladder, So I don't want to sit on the bottom and just fight. Like, I want to continuously climb the ladder. So I think that, after this fight, if all goes as planned, we really got to start, talking about, climbing that ladder more with like fights that are going to get me in a position where by the end of 2026, nobody can deny me for a title fight if I keep winning. Like, nobody. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the plan. The biggest thing is staying healthy, and the opportunities are going to come. For this promotion, they have so many, especially me fighting in 2 weight classes. You know what I mean? I can even 3 potentially. If I was, you're going to tell me, if you give me enough time, I can get down to 35. I just don't want to. I'll be honest. I don't want to do it unless it's worth it. That's it. I fought my whole career at 135. I'm enjoying myself, not really cutting as much weight, kind of just, living a life where I'm fighting at the weight that I walk around at, maybe cut a little bit. It's just, it's funner for me. But if it comes down to, this is a business, this isn't necessarily all fun. You know what I mean? You got to take those opportunities when they come. So if I get an opportunity where it's like, all right, hey, you need to, if you can fight this guy at 135 and you win, you're gonna go to a title. All right, fucking done. Send me the contract, I'll make it happen. But I just need time to diet down. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, you know, what gets put in front of me. But me being that type of person and being able to fight at 3 different weight classes, I think I have a lot of fucking opportunity. The opportunity is going to be there. It's just about kind of how we feel on going about it. Like, we got to kind of weigh out our options and see what's what. So you can only do so much. I don't know who they're going to throw in front of me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that if they throw enough in front of, if they give me some options, I will say yes to just about everything. But I don't want to be that guy either, to just be like, yeah, 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 because then it's like I'm not going to kill myself for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going down to 35 and cutting that weight again if it's not going to be worth it for me and my family. You know what I mean? But 55 is great. I don't even got to cut much weight. I chill, I eat. You know what I mean? I can enjoy my family, like the holidays, and still get there. 45 is where I should be normally, and that's the thing, is my power will translate through all. So it's not. I'm not. I don't really. I really don't even. I don't even think of the weight classes the same. It's just more about really just if I want to cut down for the diet and the bullshit. This is really it's kind of silly now. It's like nuts. I used to think I'd be at a big if it was MMA, you'd be at a big disadvantage because the bigger man on top of you is always, if you guys have the equal skill and he's on top of you, he's gonna have an advantage because he's just that much bigger and stronger. It's that simple. But guess what? We ain't going to the ground in this. This is all fists, and I feel like I got the advantage no matter what. So let's go.
You mentioned the game plan of possibly multiple different divisions, picking out your best opportunity, climbing the ladder like that. For me as a fan, if I was a matchmaker, there's one fight that I think would be perfect for a Mohegan Sun type environment with you, another guy
Let's
in the
go. Now I wanna hear
BKFC
this.
from that area. Randy Costa, Rico Disciullo, maybe in the future.
That'd be cool. The only thing is about bare knuckle is like I kind of know Randy, like we're like friendly, and like if I'm fighting you in a bare knuckle fight, dude, it ain't fucking friendly at all, dude. Like it is, like it's gonna be fucking war for me, and it might we might never have a good relationship ever again if we go to like I'm telling you, like I'm that type of person. Like, all right, if you want to fuck, I don't know. That's why it's like I'm not crazy about fighting anybody I know at all that I'm somewhat close with because they're no longer. I don't look at them as a friend anymore. Like you're the enemy. That's why some people can do it. Some people it's very different. They like, I I'll be friendly with them after and this that whatever is fine. You know what I mean? But like I don't know. Like I couldn't fight people that I don't want to. I feel bad about hurting. You know what I mean? Bare knuckle is you're gonna hurt them. Like you can hurt them bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's like it's funny. Like that's why when Peter Barrett and Charles Rose were fighting for the game bird, I was so upset. And Charles is like forcing me to corner him, and I'm like, I gotta call Peter. I don't like any of this. I'm like, I want nothing to do with this. I just makes me uncomfortable. Like this shit's war for me once I get started. You know what I'm saying? Like once I get but and the thing is, they're fucking friendly, but they never trained together for years. Like I trained with Peter for years. Charles is my pretty much my cousin, my brother. I've known him since I was 11 years, 10 years old, 8 years old. You know what I mean? And I grew up with his family. His whole entire family is like my family. And it's just I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I don't want to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's like, oh, my guy's not gone. He's like, I need you. I'm like, to the point where the fight the beginning I called Peter. I'm like, yo, dude, they want me to fucking corner Charles. I don't want to do it, blah blah. And Peter's such a wild boy. He's like, we don't really care. We know what it is. It's all good, dude. It is what it is. It's a fight. But we all know each other. But well, it's an opportunity for all of us. We're all going for the same thing. It's all cool. The first round of the fight, Peter's looking at me, and he's trying to get in Charles's head, but Charles isn't paying attention, and he's looking at me, and I'm in Charles's corner, and he's going, Rico, Rico. And it's just fucking, I'm like, because he's trying to get in my head, like, because I feel guilty about cornering against him. And he's like, I see you. I'm like, what the fuck? This sick bastard, though. I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the funniest, craziest moments because we're in Mississippi. You know what I mean? In front of a huge fucking crowd. Charles and Peter about to kill each other, and he's got Joe. Peter's got Joe Lozon in his. We're all New England guys. It's literally like all guys that we all grew up with, like that we all trained with. Him, Lozon, and my other coach, Andy Cote. So like my coach is on the other side, and I got me, Charles, and fucking Charles McCarthy. And I'm just like, oh my god. This is like, and he's fucking hounding me, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous, dude. What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? I was, I want to be locked in. If I'm across the cage from somebody, it's not. There's no friendly bone in my body. You're not even a human anymore. All emotions gone, dude. Like you're something I gotta get through to make sure my family eats. I don't want to fucking, you know what I mean? There's no emotions involved, and if I gotta break your jaw to do it, unfortunately, it's happening. And I don't want to do that to my people that I'm friendly with that I like. I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm not a psychopath. You know what I mean? But in that moment, you gotta disconnect yourself from. If you're the one fighting, you have to like. It's hard for people to understand. You're not the way that I see it. Like I'm not even fighting a person anymore. Like they're not even a person. It's like it's the job. Like you're an objective. Like I have to beat this to get to my goal. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people don't understand. Like that's why it's like in the content and the Ultimate Fighter when I landed the double hammer fist and some people were freaking out on the internet like that was so uncalled for, that was so brutal, that was ridiculous. I was getting like fucking people were going nuts. I'm like, dude, this guy's trying to kill me too. This is instinctive. Like I have no feeling. Like you don't understand. I've lost a fight where I knocked a dude out, dropped to the ground, and he flash knocked out. And then I went to go hit him. Like the ref like looked at me, was sitting there, and I'm like, dude, he's out. Like call the fight. And the ref's just looking at me, and I'm like, dude, he's fucking out. And I went to hit him again, and I missed and skimmed him. and he woke up and hugged me for the last like 40. He just clamped on me, and I couldn't do much, and I lost a split decision as an amateur. This was a long time ago, and I'm like, I could have just walked over and just pounded him once. Fight would have been over. I felt bad. I'm like, I can't let my emotions get involved in this ever again, ever. You know what I mean? Like that could have cost me so. If that was a pro fight, that could have cost me so much. So it's like people. This ain't a game to me. I enjoy it. I have fun. But once it gets to close and close to the fight, it's fighting. It is as real as it fucking gets. You can die. Like things can really, it can get really serious, and that's what it's like. Everybody from the outside looking in can have their opinion, but I don't, unless you are around it all the time or are in there yourself, you really don't have any fucking clue of how serious it is, And that's like, I don't want to fucking, what if I'm the one that breaks his way, he loses an eye or something? I don't want that. There's no point. There's so many. That's another thing. We all used to fight each other locally until we realized, like, why don't we just, we're all good enough. Why don't we just go through the nation? So we started working together, and now, and know what it did for everybody? It gave them bigger exposure. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we've gotten smarter over time. We realized local guy after local guy fighting each other isn't necessarily the best move. You know what you do? We work together to get better, and then go, hey, who's the best guy on the West Coast? Let's fight him. And now you get more exposure. Oh, let's fight a guy from a different part of the world. Oh, now they follow you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the smarter move. That's the longevity game. I don't want to hurt a buddy I'm going to see. You know what I mean? There's no point. And I'm sure he'd feel weird about it too. I mean, I don't know, but it would be an exciting fight because our styles are. It would be awesome. I think in this format. Oh man, Eek. It would. I don't know. I feel like I'm a fucking bad man. That's all I'm saying.
You mentioned the Ultimate Fighter, obviously. One of the craziest moments on the Ultimate Fighter, that crazy viral knockout. And I think one thing that's interesting about that, obviously, that's a tape show that airs after the fact. So after the season was done, you're at home. Your week is coming up. This thing, people are going to see this. Everyone is going to freak out. When that episode aired, what was the timeline like with your phone? When did things start blowing the heck up?
So the weirdest part was, so the fight we go to a watch party, the fight happens, or we have a party, it's fun, blah blah blah. Oh, it's kind of bittersweet because it took hours, like almost probably, I don't know, hours, because I think like globally the way that it was viewed all over the place. So like hours later, we leave the party. Um, I go home and I find out a local guy that I grew up with, local police officer, awesome dude, a really good friend of mine, Henry Breckenridge, passed away that same time my shit's going viral. And it was very weird because he was a really good guy, really close to me. Like he would he lived, he's a police officer in my town, and my brother-in-law's younger brother lived with him in college and growing up. So like I knew them, I knew him very, very close. You know what I'm saying? It was family guy, like dude, just an awesome, awesome dude. This dude was like literally the type of person you want your kids to emulate. You know what I mean? Just through and through good soul, just awesome guy. And it was so bittersweet because I'll never forget it. Like I literally, I'm going. It was actually right before they aired it, but I was going to my mom's house to meet with my family, and it was about to be aired and everything. And I found out he passed, and it was really kind of bittersweet to be honest. But it was wild because like I don't know, you feel that type of energy like of I don't know when things like that happen. I'm a believer in that. Those energies are transferred and they're around you, and it's not this isn't it and everything. I don't want to get too deep into that, but it was. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? I'll never forget that whole day and how that went down because it was. It also kind of like was a reminder, like a check of like, oh, this moment might gonna be so great for you too, but guess what? It's not what really matters. It's not the most important thing in the world. Like, look around you, your kids, your girl, your mom, your people, your family. can be gone like that. You know what I mean? One person could be gone. That's way more important than anything. And it kind of, that still like really kind of, I think about that a lot, to be honest. It was a very, I don't know. It's just the timing of it was almost like a message, like a, you know what I mean? It was one of those things, but, and it took after that, you know, we all talked about him. We just got saying stories about him and this, that, whatever. And, then my phone vibrated for 2 days straight. I couldn't even use it. It was the craziest shit. Like I couldn't use my phone. I couldn't turn. Like it vibrated nonstop because like it was so wild. I'm like, yo, my brother-in-law is like a big fan of fight sport and this, that, whatever. And he's like, you're gonna go viral. Watch, everything's gonna go. I'm like, what? It's not that crazy yet. And then all of a sudden, when it did, it was just like my phone vibrated for like probably like 20 hours straight. I had to just walk away from just you couldn't even use it. It was wild. It really was. It was crazy. But then again, it's like it's nuts because so that happens. Then I lose my Instagram right after. So it's like what the fuck? Back to the fucking eating humble pie. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest moment I've been working to fucking get. I get like 20, 30,000 followers overnight, and I lose my Instagram like the next week.
Are,
Fucking
are,
bananas.
are we still on this? We still haven't been able to get the Instagram ever
I got
since?
a new one. I'm still this. Something I can do, but honestly, I kind of like it. To be honest, I'm a weirdo like that. I don't care. I got my kids. I got shit. I don't need. The only thing that bothered me is I lost connections with people with certain shit that was like really important, some business opportunities and things like that. And but those will all get back. I was just so stubborn. I was like, fuck it. I'm done with social media. I just didn't even mess with it for a while. But I'm getting back to it now because why not? And but at least I'm rebuilding it. It's like fucking another fucking thing I gotta rebuild and redo and reclimb and just like it don't bother me though, because that shit can be a distraction too. It can be kind of like fake and phony and weird and whatever. Like it keeps me dialed into the shit that matters. Train, fight, win. Focus on my family, work. Like I don't have to set this video up to fucking pretend like I'm done. It's for the birds. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd rather live it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. One thing about you, man, obviously we talked about your journey. It's quite amazing. And, I think fighters really, really resonate with this. A lot of people in society, a lot of people tend to like that comfortability, right? They like that stability, that 9 clock in at 9, clock out at 5, do what you have to do, enjoy the 2 days on the weekend, work till you're 55, 60 years old, right up in the sunset. A lot of fighters, man. I mean, obviously, to make it to BKFC, to make it to UFC, Bellator, the big shows, you're grinding out as an amateur. You're not getting paid any money for that. And you make it on these smaller regional shows. You're not making Conor McGregor money. You're waking up early, staying up late, sacrificing everything, paying for training, doing this for years and years and years just to get some sort of recognition. You've been doing it for such a long time, man. What's kept you going?
You gotta love it to a fault, man. It's gotta be a part of you, and that's the thing is I realized that as a young age, like I was like 6 years old, like I'm gonna be a fighter. I'll show you. I don't even know how to even do it. It was instilled in me. Like that spirit was instilled in me since I was a little kid. I'm a vicious competitor in any sport that I play. Ask anybody, like anything I ever did in sports, I was an absolute fucking problem. You know what I mean? But I wasn't always like, I was always the little runt, but I would outwork and just outgrind and just go and go and go and go. I just have that competitive. Some people have that spirit in them. It's like one of those things that like you're literally born with. You know what I mean? It really is. Um, and, but as I've got into martial arts, I truly loved it on top of having that passion. And I think that's the difference is now I know there was times where I would like fight like, oh my, even why am I doing this? I gotta go to work, I gotta make money, I gotta do this. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? It's not worth it. And then I realized like, now this is a lifestyle. I'm gonna be doing this till I die. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be involved in gyms. I'll be teaching little kids. I'll be teaching adults. I enjoy teaching kids more than the adults, to be honest, man. I really do. It's wild. It's inspiring. It frustrates a lot of people at first, but like I enjoy teaching the kids more than anything. I really do. Like I would rather take a pay cut, teach the kids, and not deal with the adults at all, because it's just pure. It's real, and it's like if you connect with a few of them, you connect so much. You don't know how much you're helping. You can really change their life, like really, truly change their life. And yeah, so I already know. I have another business on the side that kind of, for the most part, pays the bills and is the grind, which is a cleaning company for a hospital. So we do everything. So we do everything from like cleaning up after operation rooms to floor maintenance to all different type of environmental service work. So that's like what pays the bills, but all my other time is put into training and fighting and whatnot. So that's kind of what's cool is our business is 24 hours. So we have a contract for a hospital. So I can make my schedule. I can kind of float my schedule when I have training camps and stuff because that work's always there. It's 24 hours. I can spread it out. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I have to work between a 9 to 5. So it really helps with fighting. My family supports me like crazy. So if like I'm like, listen, I gotta take 3 weeks off of this fight, they got my back. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the driving factor that like allows me to do what I can do. Um, yeah, man, and it's a beautiful thing when it starts to pay off because it's like there's times where it's like fuck, when are you gonna give this up? Or fuck, is it worth it? Or shit, people that you love that love you, but they doubt it because they don't see the fruits of the labor, and they don't necessarily see the labor. They hear about it. They don't see the labor. You know what I mean? They hear, oh, you went to the gym. Yeah, they don't see you grind. They don't see you. Oh, the runs in the morning, the runs at midnight, or whatever. They don't see the crazy shit that you're doing, to make things happen. And then once they start happening, like, all right, okay, now they start to see it, and everybody thinks it's easy. It's like this is years in the making, and it's. I'm still not even close to, getting what I believe I've put into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what keeps me going is that and my kids, man. Everything I do is for them. So it's like it's special because now we got an environment at my gym, my Eddie's Alvarez Family Boxing, where it's like I'm bringing my kids in. They're seeing me work. I'm working with them. His daughter's there. My daughter's there. They're playing, doing gymnastics while I'm training. It's just it's an uplifting feeling when it's everything's starting to pay off and my family's invested in it and it's all good. You know what I mean? So it's like the love of the game, the love of the fucking game, man. That's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely. All right, Rico, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome when you make your BKFC return, Mohegan Sun against Ashton Caniglia?
As always, perfect outcome. I go in there looking sharp, piece them up, knock them the fuck out, get paid, and I fucking bounce. That's it, dude. That's the outcome. You go in there, you take care of business, you don't get hit, you walk out unscathed, and you get that money and you fucking run, dude. That's it. On to the next. Who's the next victim? That's it.
There you go. Well, Rico, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to talk. Awesome to see you turn around so soon. Great to see you back in there.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a super, 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 super active. I'm going to be super active, super busy 2026 for me. I'm sure me and you will be linking up after almost every fight, one of these. So this won't, we'll be doing this a lot this year. We'll be doing this a lot.
Let's go. Well,
I
Rico,
appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much. That's it for us today. I'm Carl Perza. He is Mr. Rico Disciullo. You can watch him. BKFC 86 in Connecticut. January 17th. He's going to be taking on Ashton Caniglia. Don't blink, fight fans. Take care.
Sir, thank you very much.